What if I told you, artists, that within your computer there was all of the different materials that we have in an art studio? All you need to do, it's true, I promise, all you need to do is type in Paint 3D into the search bar at the bottom of your Dell desktop computer or laptop and click to open. You click it open, press new, and then, my friends, so many options are available. And I just want to share some tips for trying out different options in a Paint 3D setting. So the first place I recommend visiting is the crop section. So click on this. And what I do to make my original plan, I make it a square at first, but you choose which one you like the most. Today I'm going to roll with this medium-sized rectangle. Then I'll move to canvas, and I will stretch this rectangle to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to share with you some different steps to play around with that might inspire you to do some browsing of your own. Any of these different art tools, such as this marker, the calligraphy pen, oil paintbrush, watercolor brush, pixel pen, you have so many options. And so many options, so many opportunities, and I cannot wait to see what you do. So for this one, I will just try a few of them. I want you to be inspired on your own. I think I'll choose this blue, and I will use the fill bucket and drop in that blue. Again, what if I didn't want that specific blue? You can shop from the color library, which exists with this plus button right here. And whichever color you end up adding to your gallery of colors, which exists right here, you can have a few that are saved for each time you've used the Paint 3D application. So today I think I want this, I want this to be an underwater scene, I think. I want like a midnight blue, like this one. Okay, now I'm dropping this midnight blue into my background. Okay, let's get started. Back to that paintbrush. Okay, here's one of my favorite techniques. I'm going to choose this color for this turquoise, and I went to the biggest thickness of my paintbrush. Anything you fill in looks like it's paint wherever your paintbrush stops. See how I'm moving the paint around? Doesn't that look really exciting that you can actually smush and make the paint appear on the virtual canvas? It's pretty special. Okay, I like this wavy start because remember, mine was the ocean. I don't know what you're making. Okay, I had it on matte. Now I'll change for gloss. Do you see that subtle shift, how it changes? It looks like a glossier paint. Okay, what about dull metal? Ooh, what will that be like? It's a softer look. Oh, wow. Okay, and polished metal? What does that do? Ooh, interesting. Okay. Now I'm going to create this red bottom of the ocean floor. Who said everything has to be the color it truly is? Mine is different. Mine looks very bizarre right now, and I like the contrast between the two colors, blue and red. Okay, if you make a mistake, look what you can do. Say I wanted this to be a white section for my bone coral down there. Well, you don't need to draw it with a white material. You could use your eraser, right? So I'm going to zoom in here, make this the thinnest eraser, and you can use your eraser to draw in some different shapes. Like I said, mine was going to look like the ocean floor with some coral reefs. And I'm just using my mouse to create some coral down below. And I will zoom back out. Whoa. Okay. But what if I wanted to fill that in? Well, I could probably fill it in with a thinner brush. Let's do a test. You see that circle around my cursor? That shows where the brush stops. Still is a little bit too big. Still is a little bit too big. I'll show you, I'll zoom in. See there? Just right. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to color in all of my bone coral. And I'm going to do this in, first I'm pausing the video, so this was a sped up process, so know that I took my time. Okay, so now I've added the coral and I've filled it in. I want you to see what all the other techniques do. So I'll try to draw on the side right here, but I don't think I can. But that's okay, let me just show you. This is that crayon. See how it looks like a real crayon? A pencil, oh my goodness. It's hard to see right here, so let me try to zoom in for you. Whoa, that was really zoomed in. Okay. That's a nice outline for something. Maybe you want to outline some of the coral. Maybe you want to outline something of your own. Woo! Alright. And again, that's another technique to try for other times for you guys. So now I'm going to share with you two-dimensional shapes. Also, don't forget, play around with all of these new techniques. They are so great for layers and other additions. For example, this is still underwater, so I'm going to do a watercolor wash over sections of the coral that I colored in, as well as the underwater rocks, to make it look like it's really under the sea. And if I did too much, I can always undo a few times. But I like that it looks like it's in the distance now that I put down those brush strokes. Okay, moving along with shapes. Look what I'm about to do. I'm going to create my own shape here. Hopefully we can get it started. I think I want these to be fish swimming, and I'll add the smaller details later. I like that this shape here is a nice oval for me to choose. Whoop. I don't know if I chose that shape, but we'll see. That was not the one that I planned on. Okay, this was the oval that I was going for. And these will become fish later, so just notice that it still has that box around it. And the line type, I still want a line, but I want it to be a pretty thin line there. That's better. And I want to fill in that shape. I think I want these fish to be midnight blue because I got rid of all of that midnight blue from earlier, and I still like that color. I'll shrink this down. And this is the stamping tool. So wherever I have that, this will help you save time if you have a school of fish or a bunch of windows or something that you need multiples of. For example, I have a bunch of fish swimming around, and this will help save me some time. And they're all going to be swimming one direction, like a real school. And nothing's chasing them. They're just pleasantly swimming along. Okay, and there we go. So I have the body of the fish, right? So what am I looking for now? I think I want the shape for the fin. And yes, they're pretty geometric. And this helps me change their direction. And I'm going to shrink it down. Ooh, pretty small again. There we go. And I will click on the stamp button. They look like airplanes sort of right now. And if it's getting too hard for you to see, you can always make that a little bit zoomed in up here and stamp till your heart is content. Try this technique out again if you have multiples, so you're really able to maximize your time on a project and also not be overwhelmed with a big number of something that you need to do. Oh, and that is true. I forgot to add two little fins still. Oh no, backtail fins. There we go. Sorry, my fish. One more. There you are. Okay. Ooh, here's another tail fin, or the top fin of my fish that I wanted. Oh, it's going to be really small this time. See what we're doing? We are working and building the fish, and I will pause this to continue building out all of my shapes. And remember, I paused this video, so I did not do this with the click of a mouse in an instant. This took time, okay? Okay, so I've added a bunch of different fins on my fish. I left a few out intentionally just because I wanted them to all look like they were in a different position. So remember, to make it look like it's really underwater, I was going back in with my watercolor paintbrush on the largest thickness or the smallest, depending on what look you were going for. And I just softened up my drawing, my digital drawing, by brushing over top of this with the subtle color of the ocean. So I wanted to share the next feature I'd like to share with you, and that is three-dimensional shapes. If, for example, you want something like a building that's in 3D, or for my case, I'll be adding something like a part of some treasure, buried treasure that's in the ocean down in the coral reef, I'm going to create this message in a bottle, and I'm going to end up choosing the cylinder here, and I've decided that I've clicked on polished metal. So that was what the first idea was, but you can edit the color. And right now I want an old ancient bottle, and I want dull metal for my bottle. In fact, maybe even rusted over and matte. It's up to you on what you choose. Could be a glossy, could be dull, it could be polished. But the ocean has done a number of coverings and washings and all the seashells on the floor of the ocean have made my bottle very dull. So that's why I'm choosing to turn this brass bottle into a very dull color. But I want it to stand out, so I need to edit that color. I want it to be darker, like that. I think that will do. Ooh, I did not click OK for the darkest. There. Don't forget to click OK once you're happy with your color. Then it changes. Did you see that? Okay. The best part about a three-dimensional shape, my friends, whoa, is that you can change the direction of it. You can also change the way it's facing. For example, you can look at the part that is more three-dimensional. So play around with that. I'm going to make it tilted towards the viewer. I really like that. My secret message in a bottle is going to be smaller than the big fish, but bigger than the medium-sized fish. So about that size, I like that. And if I wanted to make the part of the bottle that is the little section that is the opening, I'm going to make this shape, this tube shape. And I'm going to attach it to the bottle. And this will take some practice with the tilts and the turns. I'm going to match it up to here. And then I'm going to make sure that it looks like I want it to. And again, this will take some practice. So you can group things, or you can ungroup them. I was trying to attach this, but I don't think I can, so that's okay. I will change my plan. Instead of this being a bottle, you see, I think I'm going to make it some coins. I'm going to shrink down my cylinder and make it very thin. And that will be something to do with a new shape. A very new shape. See? I made a very thin cylinder that looks like a coin. There we go. And this will be my option that, there we are. And now these coins found at the bottom of the ocean are going to be that special dull color that I had earlier. And I still liked that they were turned a little bit, tousled in the ocean. There's one. Here's another one. I hit Control-C, Control-V, and I make a few of them, and each one I'm going to tilt in a different direction. There we go. One of them is going to be floating in the ocean, or sitting on this coral there. I like that. Almost. Oh. There. Actually, I just chose 2. I think 2 looks nice. So you get to choose what you find and play around with in the settings. You can also add stickers if you want. Textures, for example, maybe I'll put the eye on my fish with a sticker right here. Oops, that wasn't the sticker I needed. I want this one, the one that looks like an eye. So there's the fish eye, and I'll place that right there. Make it pretty small. Move it a little bit over. And the ones in the distance you can't even see, so I'm not even going to worry about that. You can add text if you'd like. You can change the font. You have several fonts to decide between. And remember to play around with those. And since it's the nighttime and the ocean floor, I have this to choose, and I want the light to be coming from directly above. I want to give this blue tinge to my artwork, a gentle blue shade, darker than the lightest blue, so there's a little darkness in it underwater. And you have options now on how you save your image. You can right-click and go take a screenshot, and that's what I'll choose to do. And I will write Miss DeSoto's fishy demonstration. I like that. And I'm still working on this, so I'll leave it here. So that's the way you can save it. And I cannot wait to see what you make, my friends. Thank you for seeing the tutorial. And share with me all of the things that you make. I can't wait to hear about it. Thank you for paying attention to this tutorial. Bye now.